Patrick Mahomes.
Come on.
Chiefs, second Super Bowl in a row.
Haters going to hate. Shake it up. I still see a lot of agents that are struggling with pipeline right now.
I was working on my skills 2 years before getting into real estate. People don't know that. You probably weren't expecting this call. No problem, I get it. And you might not be doing anything right this minute, but if you were to do something in the future, what would that look like for you, Joe? If you want the script, just comment below. What an interesting time of life. Hey?
That's how we just wrapped up our conversation before the
Don't you think, though?
clack.
Joe and I are raising teenagers.
Yes.
I've got young ones and teenagers, and we're in that stage of life. Our oldest sons are really good friends.
Yeah. It's interesting. I get to see it from both sides because I have a teenage daughter and a teenage son. So I have my house is built around double standards. Yeah. I have created, and I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. I'm okay with double standards. I will cop to that as a father.
Well, I gotta say, these poor guys. First off, they're navigating women, which are really smart,
Tricky creatures.
very tricky, very smart, very calculated, very driven emotionally, and these guys just don't know what they're dealing with sometimes.
They have no clue.
They have no clue, and they're just caught off guard, and they get caught up in a lot of things that you and I've likely made the mistakes of, but we have a little wisdom.
I'm sure even as past teenagers, we've still made the same stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, it's all about chercher la femme, right? That's what a guy's gonna do. So
Yeah.
it really is interesting. And again, I see it from both sides. Whereas I'm rooting for my daughter on one side, and I'm rooting for my son on the other. And yeah, it's you'll get there in time.
I know. I have a daughter,
and she's going to be a looker, man. My daughter is stunningly beautiful. Your daughter is going to be stunningly beautiful. It's that blonde hair, man.
Yeah, see,
the blonde hair.
I feel like my daughter is a lot like your daughter.
Oh, absolutely.
Very strong, headstrong personality, and pretty sure that your daughter knows that she's attractive, and I feel like my daughter's going to feel the same way, and I feel really bad for some of these boys that are going to come into contact.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And then our sons are, I think they're just.
I just told them the truth. I said, look, being a man is hard. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to be disciplined, get in the gym, build yourself up, build your self-esteem, build your confidence, and over time, focusing on that, women will eventually pay attention to you, but it's going to take longer. Daughters, they're attractive right out of the gate. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Now you've got a problem. You got to basically teach them to shoo away the guys and be very selective. So it is a very different double standard. You said.
Absolutely it is. And that's the thing. I know I'll probably get canceled for saying this, man, but I promote the double standard. And sometimes Jen just looks at me and it's just like, oh, God. Right? Jax will have a girl over and I'll be like, oh, hey, how's it going? I'm Joe, then they'll go off and watch a movie or do whatever they're going to do. Whereas if Claire has a guy that comes over, and it happened last week, where he walked in, super nice young man, really nice young man. I will say that. So he comes walking in and, he goes, very nice to meet you. I said, you say that now, son. And he just looked at me. Just eyes like this, and Claire's just looking, and Jen's like, here we go. I said, wait, come into my office for a minute. And so I got up, I pulled him into my office, I closed the door. I went, you like sports? He goes, yeah, I do. I said, what sports do you like? He goes, baseball, football. I said, oh, who's your team? He goes, I like the Dolphins. I said, wow, I actually thought we were going to start this off okay. And he just looked at me. And I said, what about baseball? I said, I bet it's the Blue Jays. He goes, yeah. I went, I strike 3, son, and that's a big one. And he just looks at me like this, oh man. But, really, really nice young man. And, I'm thankful that she actually brought somebody home. And we ended up yapping about sports for almost 40 minutes.
Oh, nice. He's a good kid.
It seems like a really nice.
How old?
I didn't even ask.
You didn't ask, does he drive?
Yeah, he's got a car.
So he's 16, 17?
Yep. But like I said, super nice young guy, has a job.
Where does he work?
He's construction. And he's got, I
Next
asked.
time?
What was that?
Next time, call me over, and we're going to reenact that Bad Boys 2 scene.
For sure.
Get the bottle of liquor out.
Yeah, yeah. And he's, he loves, he grew up on some acreage, so he loves working on motorcycles and things like that. He's got his whole life laid out. He's like, I want to go in heavy duty mechanics. This is what I want to repair. I want to go up north. Had a really great conversation. I think the thing I was most impressed is he actually held a conversation, and I was like, wow, Claire, like, okay, this can be the standard for now. But they're just friends, and so if that's how I treat her friends, just wait till her boyfriends start coming. So even Jen's like, that's not her boyfriend, right? I'm like, I don't care.
And here's the thing. I've met your daughter. I'm more worried for him than I am
Oh,
her.
man. Yeah, and again, you're staring down the barrel of the exact same thing, because I think those two, Claire comes back after babysitting, and she's like, wow, like Sophia like flipped out today. And I'm like, what do you think you were like? Like this, you're looking in a mirror right now, just so you know. You're in a mirror.
My wife and my daughter they have the same type of personality. It's crazy. They like things a very particular way, and when they don't happen that way, they like snap.
Game over.
And then 5 minutes later, they're fine.
That's funny.
It's like, what happened? It goes from like 0 to 100 in a second. It's not easy to handle.
Fatherhood, man.
For like the guys in the house, so me and the three brothers, sometimes it's just like a tornado just hit. And this little 5-year-old just brought
It's like Tasmanian devils, and they're just like
yeah.
It's just crazy. Yeah, needless to say, Jackson and I like watch a lot of sports in my office. But those recliners, we listen to a lot of records right now. Look at a lot of football cards and baseball cards, and
is there some explosiveness in your house?
Yeah, but I will say, honestly, like it's like every year for us, it gets easier with teenagers. I think I'm just at that crest where it's like it gets easier, then it's somebody else's problem. So that's what I'm looking for. I want both my kids married off by the time they're 18. Like, go start your families.
Man.
Get the hell out of the house.
Hey, let's just touch on this.
Yeah, man.
Patrick Mahomes.
Come on.
Chiefs, second Super Bowl in a row. Pretty historic feat. You got to say it. I predicted it during the game. I said they're down right now, but Patrick Mahomes will win this in the end. And I was right. Sorry for all the haters out there. Just want you to know.
Haters going to hate. Shake it off.
Team Swifty over here.
Oh my God,
Mr.
man.
Pfizer and Swifty.
You know what?
Herself.
Here's what I'll tell you. And I said this to you this morning. She's lucky. I think a lot of what Taylor Swift is, she's lucky. She's lucky that Kanye made her famous. She's lucky. He called it. Kanye called it.
He's like, bitch, I made that
bitch famous.
Yeah. So I remember the lyrics.
That's right. So, you know what? Yeah, it was, I'll tell you, it was the 7th longest game in NFL history.
It was a great,
like what, 50
it was a great
some
game,
odd years.
honestly, based on like just, it was a chess match.
Yeah.
Right? Like the 49ers had the Chiefs number in the first half. The fact that it was only 7-point spread between the two teams. And then the second half, the Chiefs made the adjustments. And it was a really cool game to watch. There was a lot of mistakes made, a lot of fumbles and all sorts of turnovers. But yeah, came down two really brilliant defenses. And hey, Brock Purdy's a stud. You got to give it to him. You know, he's got some weapons on that team and they're resilient.
Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant. The fact that he played in a Super Bowl in his second season, pretty awesome. So props to the 49ers and any 49ers fans. Definitely gained my respect for sure. Yeah,
it's funny. I've never been a Niners fan. I never liked the Niners. I've always been a Seahawks guy, and I've always loved a lot of the players on the Raiders. So for me, I had no dog in the fight. I had zero. I watched it with wearing a Bo Jackson jersey, and then my son had a Max Crosby jersey on.
Nice.
Watched it with a guy who was wearing a Niners jersey, and you could see the heartbreak in his eyes. Because to me, it was almost like the reversal of the Detroit-San Francisco game, right? You come in hot, and then... So it was like for them.
The Chiefs never play 4 good quarters ever.
No.
You just got to know I watch every game, and we never play 4 good quarters. So I know if we start hot, it's going to be a shaky finish. If we start off slow, generally it's going to be a better finish near the end. We never play 4 good quarters.
I love that like you're
part of the team.
Like you're the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, of course.
So I got a feeling you're going to get a call from Andy Reid.
Yeah,
He's going to go,
sure.
Jason, I've been listening to the podcast, and you're right. Come join the team.
Hey, let's talk some value for the guests today.
Let's hit it, man.
Let's hit some quick value hits. What do you want to cover?
You know, I think right now it's back to basics. I still see a lot of agents that are struggling with pipeline right now.
Okay.
A lot of agents who didn't realize that, it was a moment in time. And so they're still struggling. So I know one thing that I'm working with, and it's how we actually start our academy, is with number one, the value of a business plan. So I think that is so critical to know what you're doing when you're doing it. And when you started your real estate career, maybe you can talk about the value that a one-page business plan brought you. Just having a plan.
It gave me confidence. I knew exactly what I needed to do every day. I made it so that I could control the measurables, right? I had complete influence over it, and it was something that I could track and measure. That's really important. So I knew what I needed to do every day. I knew exactly where I was going to invest my money marketing wise. I think this is important, right? Where would I get my business from? I had consistent lead generation coming in. Then I worked on my skills. I've been working on my skills for over 8 years straight. I was working on my skills 2 years before getting into real estate. People don't know that, right? Years before getting into real estate, I was working on my skills, planning towards doing what I'm doing. So understand that that is fundamental to success. And then the key is massive, massive action. Most people don't take enough action. They sit and they think about things, but they don't do them. And nothing beats reach outs, right? For example, I could call you right now and I could say, hey, Joe, it's been a while since we've talked. Listen, we need to catch up. But this call, it's an important business one. I need 3 minutes of your time. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, for sure.
There is an incredible amount of volatility, complexity, and confusion in the current real estate market. This is creating an incredible opportunity. I'm having a lot of conversations proactively with people like yourself, acquaintances and friends and people that I care about, because as your trusted real estate agent, I think it's important that I let you know when these moments in time happen. Now, people right now fall in one of two camps, Joe. A, they're sitting on the sidelines and maybe they're just not in a position to capitalize, or they're just sort of sitting back and watching. Or B, they're seizing opportunity or putting strategies in place to seize opportunity. Which one of those would you say best describes you right now?
Yeah, Jay kind of caught me off guard, man. I know it's been a while since we chatted. Man, I haven't even really thought about it. For us, sort of interest rates would probably be a bit of a struggle, but yeah, I don't know. You kind of planted a seed, man.
Okay, well, here's the deal. You probably weren't expecting this call. No problem. I get it. And you might not be doing anything right this minute, but if you were to do something in the future, what would that look like for you, Joe?
God, I love that question. Sorry, I digress. Yeah, for us, space is a bit of an issue. I think that, the kids getting older, I'd love to have entry level walkout basement, like 2-level rancher, man. Family room downstairs. Love the kids to have an ensuite. That would be freaking amazing. Man, get them out of my hair because right now their bedrooms are upstairs.
Okay, so it sounds like more space, a second.
Yeah, it's different layout. I just need a different layout, Jay.
Okay, seems like a logical move. Can I ask what's held you back from doing that?
I think interest rates right now were a big one. And I mean, as you know, we've been in the house now for 3 years, so I don't know what our equity position really looks like. I can guess. I know the assessments just came out. So judging by the assessment, I think I went down about 10%. So all right. I don't really know what that looks like, man.
Okay, so interest rates are an important factor for you. So help me understand, when you say interest rates, what is it about the interest rates for you specifically that holds you back?
I'm at a really good rate right now. We locked in when we bought the house 3 years ago. So for me, I think if we cash out, go somewhere else, I'm going to be paying a lot more on a mortgage than I'd like to.
Okay, so for you, affordability is a big thing.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Besides affordability, is there anything else that's held you back?
Again, just that equity position.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this, Joe. If your equity position made sense and affordability was possible, so you could actually make this transition, improve the quality of your life where you get more space and it's just a better suited house to you long term, and it made sense financially, is there any reason why we couldn't get together and explore that?
No. I've never really thought about it. I have to talk to Jen. But because I said this totally caught me off guard. But I mean, yeah, we can. I guess we can take a look.
Well, here's what we should do. Here's what we're going to do. Why don't we get together? Well, include Jen, of course. That's important, right? I'm going to come by and give you guys an updated equity report on your home, so at least you know where you're sitting there. In the process, let's also discuss affordability options and what's out there, because I think you guys might be pleasantly surprised to understand that it's very possible for you guys to maximize the return of your home and get a home that's suited to you guys while keeping it affordable in your budget. So would you be opposed to maybe getting together, say, like Wednesday or Thursday this week?
No, I think we could do that for sure. It's I know last time you came at about 6:30. So is that
yeah, does that still work for you guys? We can do 6:30, say Wednesday?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, cool. Boom. Guys, I just booked an appointment from somebody that I called in my sphere. If you want the script, just comment below. Script, we'll send it to you, okay? Yeah. We have some content around it that will show you how to do it. This right here, if you just did this, you had 10 conversations like this every day for the next 90 days, you'll have touched a lot of your sphere, pretty much most of the people in your sphere, because not everyone's going to answer, right, when you're calling. But that alone will get a tremendous amount of opportunities in your pipeline. In fact, we've had some students that are booking 4 or 5 appointments just in a day, in one day from following this script. The hard thing is most of you are going to hear this and it's like, oh yeah, that could work. Or you're going to get in your head and say, oh, here's why it won't work. It does work. We've tested it a lot and we know 1000% that it does work. So that's an example of something you could tangibly do right now. And it costs nothing. Just takes the time to learn the skill. How many of you are practicing and developing your skills? Most of you are not. Most of you aren't. And then you're wondering, well, why is my business not just magically growing? Well, because it doesn't just magically grow. It requires being proactive.
Love it.
Cool. There you go, guys. That's our podcast this week. I always really appreciate spending time with you, man. And I love the conversations. And we're going through a lot of the same life stage stuff. It's pretty funny.
For sure. Except yours is looking to be you're gonna have a bit of a slower burn than I will. So I'm almost through it. I think maybe I don't even know. Right now, I'm just hoping that there's no grad kids until the kids at least have jobs.
Yeah, until they're out of the house.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you too.